when my face got like kicked in, somehow miraculously my chest healed. So I don't know. I must have just pulled something and like worked it out when I was rolling around on the floor. These are others. Woo! Looking good. These are some others.
Nice.
And yet, more.
Bruises. This is going to be great for the documentary. Hi, look at my... Oh, I look good in the dark. Oh yeah, look at that.
Get mine. Oh, baby, show me your knee bruise.
What's my ass bruise?
Give me your ass bruise.
I don't know if it's coming up in this.
I saw it,
but I'm getting your ass.
First thing I noticed about Rochester being like a scene at all, because it's very difficult here, you know, it's like the cold weather just disperses everybody, but it's, yeah, the noise scene is like the most, you know, it's like the sort of most unique thing about Rochester. It's very nice.
Enjoy it. It's just kind of like I'm kind of inducting energy from some part of the universe, and I don't even know why it's happening, but it is, and I'm really interested in shifting energy and that kind of stuff, and you know, goddess religions and all kinds of that stuff. So the music is just kind of like comes out of this feeling of riding some kind of wave.
I've dabbled with a bunch of people around here. It's sort of the nature of living in a small space with a lot of noise musicians. So
it's ancestral here.
Yeah, very much so.
So I used to just like write melodies like on the Casios and then put them in my computer and take different like beats and stuff, and I don't know, I'd like play the recorder and then sing or talk on top of it, and I would just like make it into this weird jumble of stuff, and like I had no idea what I was doing. I mean, I didn't know that it was like there was actually like a genre for that, and I would probably never let anyone ever listen to the stuff I made like before, but I met this guy Newton from Philly, and he has a record label called Breath Mint Records, and he became a good friend of mine, and has been doing noise and stuff for a long time, and so he was really the person that introduced me to the scene and introduced me to like people who did stuff like that was very similar to what I was doing.
Living in Argentina, and that was mostly like lots of electronic house dance music, and so I got my rave on there, and but meanwhile also being in the States and listening to more like live band stuff, and so then I was just mixing it up more, and yeah.
When I was around 18, 19, I started playing at Churchill's in Miami. Yeah, with Rat Bastard and the Laundry Room Squelchers. And I went on tour with them when I was like 19, and it was awesome.
Like, well, you were in bands before that, I was in bands before that, but it kind of got unified at that point.
We came from, me and my brother in a band together, and we'd been, we kind of came from this punk background, but it was just like more avant-garde punk, and when we moved to Cleveland, there was a lot of this like, sort of greaser boy punk stuff, retro, and so we were just kind of isolated for a long time, and then one by one, we just kept meeting a couple other people who were into this like abstracted stuff.
Yeah, after that we kind of got more motivated because it was kind of like we knew someone who was sort of into the same thing we wanted to do, and after that kind of just took off.
Like Jeff's wearing a t-shirt today that says Known Cleveland, and that's a reference to a long time ago. We used to put on shows every month, and we were just kind of out in the wilderness.
We didn't even know noise was a scene. It was just
we were just calling it like no wave.
Yeah, we're just sort of the weirdos who play shows together, and we all like each other. So we just did it.
I'm very interested in the noise scene as far as producing noise music. I think it falls outside of that realm, but it doesn't fit in any other realm per se either. So it's always kind of difficult to find the right shoe that fits, because it's not theater and it's not always conducive to a gallery setting, and it's not street art, and so I always try to find little niches where I can.
Carly and I were talking, I was like, do other girls do this? And she was like, well, yeah, I mean, in Lexington, Kentucky, because I lived in Ohio, she's like, there's this woman, Irene Moon, she does this crazy stuff, she's like totally out there, and she does it all on her own, and she sets up shows at her house, and she's like, you should email her and try to see if you can play a show there, or like talk to her. So I did, and she actually like let me come play at her house, and I was so scared, and I went and I played, and they all seemed to really like it, and so then we kind of stayed in correspondence, and then that was in the fall, and then the following summer I was like, I want to go on tour, I want to like do this, because now I'm starting to like contact people, and I know like there's shows I can play, and she so I asked her if she wanted to go with me, and she was just like, I'm in school, I'm too busy. She's like, but when I first started, I just went with my dog Sokka, we just like went on the road and just did it alone. I was like, well, I don't have a cell phone, I don't have a car, and she's like, well, that's just what I did, and so I saved up money and bought a car.
The outfit makes all the difference. It's much easier
to let go.
Yeah, although the first show that we did, I took some Adderall and I was like the whole time. Like, I couldn't even remember like what I had just played. I had no sense of it. But people are just thrilled to see performance too.
So we just ended up jamming one day, and it was really fun. And we kept doing it. We made like a practice day, and then we started booking our shows. And we were probably at a show, and we were like, hey, we should play. We play stuff. Why don't we do it together? And we just kept playing after that, because it was really fun. I mean, it's like a bonding. Like, you go there and you play music, but then when you stop, you also discuss like personal things, and it's kind of like therapy in that way.
Yeah, where I came from, there was no noise scene. When I would play, people would throw beer bottles at me, cuss at me, yell at me. I wouldn't be allowed to play after I would play someplace, and they'd be like, no.
My band in England, it was just like me getting down and being really drunk and like yelling at people and like getting really involved and offensive or whatever. But yeah, like I always needed like a wide array of like toys and small instruments, like to be able to do something else, because I'm also really interested in lyrics and stuff, and I don't want to sound like an asshole. Like sometimes, like, you know, like improvising vocals, like you want to like do something, but you just don't have the right words yet or something, and so you could end up just like, I'm so sad or something, and you don't want to do that. So like it turns into like just like something else completely.
It just evolved over time, you know. So
yeah, it's not like let's be a noise band, let's go into the noise scene. It was just sort of like it sort of happened. We were doing what we wanted, and
yeah, it was just the isolated people.
Yeah,
and then you know, and then just about 2 years ago, all of a sudden, noise everywhere.
That's so wrong. The sun always shines for my
Us tripping on acid so hard when I saw her play at INC. It was like the coolest shit ever. She had like this black, like tight dress with like fur on it. He's
her last video, this actually makes a lot of sense. Because I mean, she has so much flack for her first video. Like, people were telling her, like, she's the worst fucking shit ever, she deserves to fucking die. Like, people would rather fucking stab themselves in the eyeball with a fucking screwdriver than even, like, have to think about her. That's brutal fucking shit. This video, her next video, fucking makes perfect sense if you didn't know the shit she got. That's so awesome.
It's like 80s expressionist work.
Yeah.
Love that song.
You know, I'm always like the only vagina in the room.
But more and more, like lately, there's been at least like one girl. Not like
It's
the
true.
joke girl, but
It's
like
true.
there's like at least
but
one
a lot
girl.
of what happens is that it's a girl that's coming with like their boyfriend, which, you know, is fine.
Well, when I first started out, I was like always the only girl on the bill, and I mean, there girls would come and stuff to shows, but I don't know. It's like predominantly like a male scene, like for well, it has been for a long time. I think more girls are coming out with things that they're doing, and I think a lot of them may have been like me, where I was just sitting in my room, like doing stuff for a long time, not knowing what it was, and then getting exposed to it and being like, whoa, this is actually like something, like this is a real outlet for me. Like, this is something I should pursue. I mean, I can't really imagine myself doing anything else.
Is one of your favorite things the girls that you get to see?
Yes.
Like most of your friends that are in the other bands, do they live in other cities?
They live in other cities. They live in other countries. Especially other cities. I never get to see Leslie.
Do you meet them like through touring, when you tour, when they tour?
All kinds of times.
And is it easy to stay in touch now because of MySpace, or is it easier just like sending music to each other?
It's easy to stay in touch because of MySpace and tours. Then you can see people's asses.
And you've been in it for a while now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Have you noticed more so that there's more bands coming around with more girls? Like,
Totally.
and are they more inclusive, or is it like high school cliques?
I don't know. I never really thought about it, because when women get together and they're having a good time and sharing experiences, if you stumble upon it, sometimes you can't get in there because you haven't been a part of what's happened in the last few days, and ladies are like that. Like, I don't know.
Oh, you get so excited when you see a girl on stage. You know, it's nice. Not to make it seem like it's special because there's a girl. I hate to think that, you know, but it really, I enjoy it a lot more when I see a girl, you know, on stage than just all guys. You know, it's different. You take it more personal. You know.
I love that.
We're kind of connected in a way. You know, women. We just think differently, and it's nice to see that on stage.
Yeah, I mean, having gone to hundreds and hundreds of punk shows as a kid, it's good to finally see women around and see people, and not just women, but also men being really comfortable expressing themselves however they see fit. And it's nice to be in that environment, and I think it's conducive for people to attempt projects on their own too. So that's sort of where I'm at more. It's like seeing amazing people around me and kind of wanting to participate as well.
But the ratio is still probably more boys to girls. And I honestly, I think there's probably just as many girls doing it, but they don't get as much recognition.
Yeah, and it's starting to happen. There's starting to be more women in noise here, and more experimental music for women, and some women are doing shows and stuff like that. So I think that's really good. But I really like the whole women's experimental music thing. There's just something to it.
Well, because I've always been a woman performing, I took that for granted. Like at Churchill's, it was common, and Rat always made an effort to get women involved. So for me, I kind of, it felt like it was always happening, but I guess, yeah, there are more women that are visible, but maybe because I was doing that in Miami and I didn't really notice that it was a thing out of the ordinary.
Right.
It was common that there was tons of women.
And I think that's what's interesting about like girls in noise or whatever is like, I mean, there's also girls who are like gadget heads. Like I know, like I've met girls who like make their own electronics and like do really sweet stuff. And I definitely don't think that that's something that should be reserved for men. Like, and like it's, I mean, who cares? Like,
yeah.
It'll happen or it won't, but it like definitely can with women, and it probably will once they get more confidence. Like I have bought a soldering iron and like turned a soap dispenser into a thing, you know, like for kicks and like, but in terms of having like just effects and a microphone, it's like, how could you know, only think about the math of it, you know, like you can end up turning a knob and it's just like so that's your voice, like, and it's weird. I don't know, like, but and also I feel like it's a lot more serious, like this, just because I think the noise scene is more serious. Like I've always been like just really into things which are self-reflexive in the sense that like you understand that you're like the dumbest piece of shit ever and it's funny, and like to laugh at yourself is a really good idea, you know?
Just for Faggot. Faggot's the only costume band. All the bands are different, so Faggot is the only costume band.
And are you the only girl in the band?
Yes.
And you make the guys wear costumes too?
Oh, fuck yeah. They love it. It's nice. Like, they like wearing the costumes. Like, that's what makes it fun to play with them.
And do you make them all yourself?
Some of them, sometimes I just take stuff that's cool that I find, and I'll make stuff to match it. Or some of it I make completely from scratch.
What's your favorite one? Can you show me some?
Well, I like, you know, whatever we have that's newest that we haven't worn the most, I'm most excited about. And this is for the last show we did.
Nice.
This is Tim's top.
Oh my god! It's like the Church of Faggot.
And then here was his
wheels
bottoms.
downstairs. Yeah, the Kevin Shields wheel. Rex, like, check this out.
That was John's bottoms.
Nice.
And
have
then
pictures of you like playing it. Then Rex starts playing it.
here was Tim's bottoms.
Okay.
Those are so fucking cool.
I know, they're so
like a
cute.
noise
I was so
fetish
happy with
section.
them. Yeah, there's little
wheels.
John.
Those are so badass,
Sorry,
man.
little John, and here was his collar.
Do his nuts or anything pop out ever?
Oh, always.
Oh man.
Here was his collar, John.
His collar, like for his collarbone? Or up, like top, like vampire?
Like
nice. I love it.
And then here was Tim's little Little shorts.
Dallas Cowboy in the house. I love it. Oh my god.
Yeah. And then Jason. Here was his.
Oh my god, AIDS, that's awesome.
And the fucking long ass fringe. I love it.
It's
I love
so
fringe.
fucking hot.
And like he had an armband.
Nice. And you made that too?
Mm-hmm.
How long have you been sewing?
Since I was 14, so math. 16.
We don't have to do it.
17 years.
That is so funny with Faggot down the side. That is so fun. Does he wear anything under it?
He wears like a little pair of underwear. These guys are fun. They're not scared to like hang out and shit. They actually usually try to. It's pretty funny.
I bet people that appreciate like a spectacle. They're like, okay, cool, you know.
Yeah, some you know.
Visuals.
But then there's equal everything. There's like people who are stoked about it, and then some uptight people are like, what is this? Fake it. You know, like it's funny. It's like good for everything, you know. It's fun, and it's like, hopefully people are thoughtful at least. I can't even show you this without really putting it on, but it was like held. It was like superhero.
Nice.
Held across.
Totally.
And around and then
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, totally. And then there was the front.
Nice.
And here's the back was like.
Oh my god! And it's like starched.
Well, it's just vinyl. And it's cool. It's like you stay in because the vinyl on your skin. Like,
it's stiff.
Yeah. People are like, "How are you staying in there?" Because I was just like, bloop, all around. And it was like, I don't know. I think it's the vinyl on the skin. It's pretty nice. I like it.
Powder under the vinyl.
Oh yeah, and there was little leggings there from me
Nice.
too. It was like, yeah, Faggot superhero. I'm really into like, well, obviously, this is the first red, white, and blue stuff I've ever made.
I love it.
I was like, I can't use red, white, and blue. It sucks. I'm like, yeah.
Hey, do you tell your parents about the music you do? Do they understand it? What do they think you do with it?
My MySpace account is set to private.
Because of that?
Because of my parents, yeah.
Are your parents like so conservative that they'd be like...
My parents are like fucking Pentecostals. I don't talk to them at all. Seriously. I'm estranged.
Wow.
Yeah, strangely, I just got off the phone like right before coming here, and my dad was like, "Make a lot of noise." Like he's super supportive of it, but maybe it's because he was in a garage band as a kid and just kind of knows how important experimenting with music really is, and so they're super supportive. I mean, they still think I'm weird, but that's nothing new.
My mom doesn't really, she doesn't really care. I mean, she does, but she's not, like, she's like, whatever you do is cool, like, awesome, whatever, you know. But my dad, it's taken him a while to, like, erase the ideal that he had for me in his head. But now he's much cooler about it now than he was before, because it was probably like 2 years ago that I finally just had to tell my dad that I was like, you don't have to understand exactly what I do, but you have to support me doing it, because this is me creating art. This is like me expressing myself. This is me. Like, this is what I want. This is what I like to do. And it was after that he actually finally asked to listen to my stuff, which he had never done before. So. And since then it's actually been pretty supportive of it, and it doesn't even like faze him now that, like, you know, I just like drop everything to tour around the country to like be broken.
I guess they're just like, dancing? What? You're going to where to dance? What do you mean dance?
Oh, my parents don't really know what I'm doing. I mean, yeah, this is new for me. This was like my second noise show.
Cool.
As the Bloody Nose. And I've done performance stuff before, which is very visual, costumes and things like this on my own. But yeah, my parents know that there's like a band, but it's sort of, you know, they're not really involved in, they're not going to come out and see it, you know.
Yeah, her parents are pretty cool. My parents don't know about shit.
My parents play jazz music, and my dad used to play rock and roll when we were kids, and so he got us, you know, he was always really supportive about getting us instruments for Christmas, and, you know, getting us lessons when we were pretty young and stuff too.
Yeah, I played piano and flute, and I had voice lessons.
No, I played the trombone when I was in grade school and high school, but flag corps from there, you know. So it's performance for me, you know.
No, self-taught, guitar and drums and bass, vocals, whatever, depending on the project. And electronics sometimes.
Well, I started playing guitar when I was 9 because my dad did it, and I just really liked it. And then, anyway, I didn't really do anything band-wise until 2002 when we started Social Genre.
No, we were poor, so I didn't get lessons really, but I always asked for like keyboards and guitars and stuff for Christmas. I finally got a guitar when I was like in 7th grade, and my dad paid for weekly lessons for me for a year. So I played guitar, and I had a keyboard that I like self-taught myself to play, and I would play people's pianos. But that's pretty much it. We always were trying to be in bands when I was like, little. They weren't very good.
How'd you know the flute? I attempted to play instruments when I was a young person, but now once I got opened up to more experimental stuff, then it took me a while to start playing my own, but now that I'm trying to do that.
Working shit jobs. Just use work and work and work and make as much money as you can to save up and do it. It's very national and actually international too. I mean, I got to go to Belgium a few times, and there was 4 noise labels in Antwerp, just the one city.
Wow.
They were all like really into putting out American noise, you know. So it's kind of amazing to go play there. It was cool.
Wow.
So yeah, it's kind of all over the place, but it's really cool what happened over the last like 4 or 5 years in the U.S., where it's really become like this network all across the country. I have had tours where I broke even actually on the tour, but yeah, more often it's like you have to subsidize it. 2006, I toured with this band that I was in at the time called Gang Wizard, and we played a festival in Belgium, and I got to go. I actually got to open up that fest, which is really cool.
Yeah, it's credit cards or save money, or nowadays I try and get some sort of guarantee-ish, you know, but yeah, so there's never a guarantee though, really.
The more places you play, the more people you meet, and it just kind of works from there. It's really awesome. There's a huge network, you know, all over the country. People just kind of hook up, you know, and it's just all about meeting people and seeing new things, and I don't know, it's really awesome.
And then when people come into town and you get to catch up and all that, yeah, it's great. It's a nice kind of, a little bit of a family feeling happens sometimes.
So we're done? Woo!
Is this yours, baby?
Oh yeah, that's mine. Bye! You're so awesome! Thank you so much. We love Angie!
Yeah!
Woo! Smack that ass!
Alright. I'm leaving!
Bye.
Have
Beautiful.
fun.
Thank you so much.
Bye, y'all. Thank
You're the
you.
best!
Woo!